Are you sick and tired of gambling your hard-earned money on Madden and 2K packs? Well, look no further than my sponsor, MMOEXP, for the cheapest and most reliable Madden and 2K coins on the market. And of course, do not forget to use code Ferdy for 5% off. A link for their website is at the top of the description. What's going on, guys? Today, we are looking at the best players at each position currently here in Madden 23. Getting started with the quarterbacks. There are options in this game right now. A bunch of really good quarterbacks. I would say the quarterback landscape is pretty spread out. I don't think right now there really is a clear-cut number one option. I do think for certain play styles there is, however. If you want to play from the pocket, I think Fitzmagic is the best option. Also, I don't really like set feet that much as well. If you are a set feet guy, then you could obviously still run set feet on Fitzmagic. But the reason why I like Fitzmagic for a pocket passer is because he does get fearless and has a pretty solid release. If you are someone that likes running around a lot more, likes, a run scheme, I think Mike Vick is the best, has the second fastest release in the game, can also obviously get set feet. I actually run Mike Vick with no abilities right now, and he still plays amazing. But yeah, it does get set feet, good speed, and like I said, he has the second fastest release in the game, as you guys can see right there. And real quick, before we get into our running backs, if you are watching this on either Friday night or Saturday, send a picture of your team over on Twitter. Link for the Twitter down in the description. But if you send a picture of your team with a nice little screenshot, you have a chance to be a part of the next episode of I Rate Your Teams that comes out every single Sunday. So yeah, like I said, link for the Twitter down in the description. So now moving into the running backs, I do think for a good amount of time it was Marshawn Lynch. I believe in the last episode, I think we only had these 390 overall backs. Now we add, some more high overall backs. Eric Dickerson, I do think, is number one, has really good abilities. They did change the way the card looks a little bit to fix the strobe or whatever, the flashing light glitch that the card was having. But I think October 17th is when you're going to see a lot of change in this game. They can't really change a lot right now. I know that I used to be kind of deep in the 2K community. And that's why Fortnite was such a cool game, because Fortnite could just drop updates whenever they wanted because it was a beta. If you're one of these more, more like official console games, you have to get a lot of the patches cleared by Xbox or PlayStation. So that process is a little bit longer. But a game like Fortnite, I remember, they could just fix stuff immediately, updates, all that stuff, adding new content. That's why Fortnite was just so crazy. But games like, 2K, Madden, they have to wait until these title updates to actually fix bigger issues. And Eric Dickerson, as well as the Team Diamonds, were one of those issues. And I saw people kind of, complaining about how they couldn't fix it right away. But if there is something like that, I mean, they literally just cannot do it. But yeah, Eric Dickerson, I do think, is number one. Still, with his old build, with his new build, doesn't matter. 91 speed, good acceleration, 6'3", 220. Can really just do everything. Even has good abilities. 2 AP bruiser, can, RB apprentice, which will make him a better pass catcher. So really can fit anyone's play style, I guess. I mean, even can get jukebox. So yeah, I think Dickerson is, without question, number one right now. I wouldn't even really hear a debate for LaDainian Tomlinson. Dickerson's way better. So now we have the fullback. This one's pretty easy. It's Christian Okoye, easily. I mean, this card could have maybe, I don't know if he's in that conversation, but he's definitely a top 5 running back in the game, maybe even a top 3 running back in the game. This card's a monster. The height, the weight, the build, the speed, the acceleration at 94 is crazy. I made a gameplay on the channel with this card, using him as a running back, and he is just a freak. Can catch passes as well because of the ability cover up with short and elite. A really good card, a really good card. I wish it was just a little bit cheaper, maybe like a 350. I would have him on the squad for sure. 550K is kind of a lot, but he is the best fullback in the game right now. So now we have our wide receivers, and I feel like usually it's not like this, but yeah, these top 3 receivers are your 1, 2, 3. Not in this order. I might say Plexico Megatron over DK, but DK does hit 3 thresholds. I don't really know. But Plexico 6'5", Calvin 6'5". They just dropped, 2 6'5" 91 speed receivers and a 6'3" 91 speed receiver. All literally consecutively. So yeah, there you go. Those are your receivers. I mean, this is pretty obvious to me. I mean, they're all beasts. I've used all these cards. There's gameplays of all these cards up on the channel if you want to go check them out, of course. But yeah, right now we need some big corners now, and they gave us Revis, but Revis is gonna have some problems with these 6'5" guys. I mean, that's a lot of height given up right there. So now we have our tight ends, and yeah, there's guys like Mike Ditka and there's Antonio Gates. That's all cool. Dave Casper's still number one in this game. 89 speed, 2 thresholds, a good run blocker. Oh, is he a good run blocker? Yes, a decent. Yeah, he's actually a good run blocker. Good run blocker. I thought break tackle was run block. That's why I said that at first. But yeah, he's also a good run blocker. Good after the catch. 6'4", 240. Good ability buckets too. I mean, this is the best tight end in the game. There's no real debate here. I don't think no one should debate me on this. He is number one. It's not debatable. So now we are moving over to defense. Getting started here at left end, we have the minister of the defense, Reggie White, Michael Strahan. These two guys are the top two. There's no real debate there. But it does come down to what you want. So Michael Strahan has two thresholds in finesse and power moves, also hitting some thresholds like block shed as a run stopper. The only problem with Strahan is he does not get all 3 traits and does come with a bit of a price tag. But you have a guy like Reggie White who doesn't hit the same thresholds as Michael. Michael has better stats, but he does have 3 traits. So if I were, if I had coins and I cared about my coin stack, I would 100% go for Reggie White. I don't think he's 400k worse than Strahan, but I would say Strahan is better. I'd probably prefer Strahan. I would probably prefer him just because I like having the cold hard stats instead of the traits. I think 90 finesse, 90 power moves with good block shed is definitely the move. So now we have our right end, and yeah, there are options. Dwight Freeney, it's kind of the same thing as like Strahan, where he doesn't have all 3 traits. Cameron Wake does have all 3 traits, but I want Nick Bosa. I used Nick Bosa's core elite card for a while, and if you don't know, most of the time, not every single time, but 90% of the time, I would say traits carry over through cards upgrades. So having all these yes traits like Bosa has, and you guys can't see it, but he has all the yes traits, take my word for it. His core elite played well because of the traits mainly, and now he also has the stats to back it up. That's when cards get dangerous, once they have the good traits and the stats to back it up. So yeah, the finesse move, the power moves, the run stopping ability, the speed, the acceleration. Card's a freak, man. The card's a beast. So now we have our defensive tackles. So I'm going to give you guys 2 options here. I think the best defensive tackle that can get inside stuff is Jeffrey Simons. So if you want to run inside stuff, Simons, 1 AP inside stuff, and also has some pretty good pass rush stats. And I think that's why you could debate Simons over John Randall, even though John Randall has, non-defensive tackle-like rushing abilities with having the good finesse move and the run-stopping stats and the speed, as well as all the traits on yes. He just cannot get inside stuff. So yeah, I think Randall's a really good pass rusher in this game. If you want, you could run him off the edge maybe. He does get edge threat, stuff like that. But if you want to run inside stuff, John Randall simply does not get it. So that's why there's kind of, I guess, 2 options at defensive tackle right now. So next up, we have our left outside linebackers. And again, there are options here. Seth Joyner, I don't think fits in enough schemes. No one's dropping their outside linebacker into coverage. If you are, then yeah, he's a good option. But everyone's real meta right now is just blitzing, getting good edge pressure, rushing 4, dropping into coverage with edge threats. So if you are an edge threat guy, I think Von Miller is the best option just because he does get discounted edge threat. I mean, that's big. That's huge. Also a good pass rusher. All the traits are on yes. Good against the run. However, if you're not going to be rocking with abilities, I would go with Terrell Suggs. He does kind of get this bonus unpredictable for 0 AP. I wouldn't use Lurker. The card doesn't have good enough agility or COD or whatever to even run it, in my opinion. But as far as, if you're not going to use edge threat, it's Terrell Suggs. If you are going to use edge threat, if you want to use edge threat, it's Von Miller. So now we have our right outside linebackers, and I'm going to go with DeMarcus Ware. The speed, the acceleration, his cards usually can play a little bit of zone, but again, I don't think a lot of people are dropping, like I said, they're outside linebackers in the zone this year. But I mean, all traits are on yes. His cards always play insane. Also does get the discounted under pressure for 1 AP, which is a really good ability. We're going to start seeing a lot more fearless quarterbacks come out. I can almost guarantee that with Most Feared and stuff like that on the way. Team Diamonds, stuff like that. So while you can, under pressure is a really good ability. Still guys can get fearless. But if you come across the guy who's not running fearless and you have an under pressure, it's going to be a long day for them, especially if your outside linebacker is just getting free pressure every single time. So yeah, DeMarcus Ware definitely a solid option. There's other options. There's Adarius Smith, who does get it's just not that good of an ability to really be worth running. And I mean, it doesn't have all 3 traits. I mean, yes, DeMarcus Ware is definitely better than him. If we keep looking here, Clay Matthews, yeah, give me DeMarcus Ware. Yeah, DeMarcus Ware is the best. He's the best right outside linebacker in the game right now. But if you are just looking for an outside linebacker that can rush the passer, I would probably take Terrell Suggs over DeMarcus Ware. Not abilities don't matter here. I'd probably, stat-wise, I mean, really doesn't matter where you play these outside linebackers. If you buy a right outside and you want to put them at left outside, go for it. It doesn't affect their stats. All it does is it affects their overall. So it does not matter. But as far as who's the best, outside linebacker, without abilities, I would probably go with Terrell Suggs. 2 thresholds, good speed, crazy acceleration. Yeah, I'd probably go with Suggs. And coming in at middle linebacker, we have the fully powered up version of Ray Nitschke. So there's a reason for this. It's because of the 1 AP lurker. Definitely makes the card worth it, in my opinion, if you are someone that wants to use your middle linebacker. And this year, there's actually a benefit, because running those sub linebackers, those safeties in the box, they do react a little bit slower to the run. So having a middle linebacker out there could be the difference between, a touchdown or you getting a stop, in the run game. So, Ray Nitschke, I think it's definitely a good option. Like, using linebackers isn't as bad as it's been in years past, in my opinion. It really isn't. But if we compare him to the previous king of the middle linebackers, Derek Johnson, as far as usering goes, I mean, it's pretty similar. And I would just say that, really, Nitschke's just better. He really is. I mean, right here, it looks a little tough, but, +1, +3. And the 1 AP lurker, very similar to Derek Johnson. And if we look here, better agility, and also the better COD. So Nitschke's actually going to feel better as a user than Derek Johnson. So, kind of a no-brainer, and he's faster. So, Nitschke is the next upgrade of Derek Johnson with the 1 AP lurker. Okay, so now we are into the cornerbacks, and I just dropped a cornerback tier list it was Wednesday, I believe. So, number 1, I'm going to go with Charles Woodson. The speed, the size, the slight ability to tackle, which is really hard to find. All of these things on a cornerback, in early October. So, 90 man, 92 zone, the good pursuit, the 6'1", the speed. I think he's number 1. Number 2, I'm going to go with Night Train Lane. I think he is number 2. 90 speed, 87 acceleration, and also the ability to tackle pretty well, zone, man, press, all those things. And after deep consideration, I mean, not really. I mean, there really isn't. I think it's got to be Revis at number 3, even though he does scare me a little bit because he is just 5'11". But it's either him or Champ Bailey, and the only difference between those two cards is 1 inch. And Revis is just better in every single category, basically. It's definitely just between Champ or Revis for me for that third slot. And I think Revis just takes it. Like, I'm willing to trade 1 inch for +5 zone coverage, +1 speed, all these things. Price tag wise, Champ, but I think Revis is the better option at corner right now. I think I'll put him at cornerback number 3. I would definitely take Night Train and Charles Woodson over him, but even a guy like, I don't know, maybe even a guy like Rod Woodson could come in here. I mean, Rod Woodson is definitely a top tier safety in the game, but even could be a good corner if you want to play him there. 6 foot, I guess 2 speed worse is tough. I'd probably still say Revis. I'm going to stick with Revis here at cornerback number 3. And so now we have our free safeties, and I'm going to go with Rod Woodson here for free safety. Free safety, strong safety, it's kind of like outside linebackers or left ends and right ends. You can kind of play them wherever you want. So, I feel like there's a better strong safety landscape than there is a free safety landscape right now. But 89 speed, 89 acceleration, 6 foot, 205, can play man, can play zone, and also can tackle pretty well. More of like a corner, really, because usually he is a corner. Usually he is. And for strong safety, I'm going to go with Nolan Cromell, but you see right here, like, Nolan's better, Cam's better. Poyer is better. Debatable. Yeah. I mean, maybe not, because it depends on what you're looking for, but the strong safety landscape is kind of deep. But Nolan, Cromell for the strong safeties, and then as like a user, I'd probably say Cam Chancellor. His speed might not be any, like, we have 91 speed, 90 speed safeties in the game, but his size at 6'3" with his weight, ability to stop the run, can play zone. As a user, he's just terrifying. The 1 AP enforcer. I think as like a sub linebacker in the box safety, he is the best option, but I'm going Nolan for the strong safeties and Rod Woodson for the free safety. So that is going to do it for today's video. Of course, if you are new here, hit that subscribe button, turn those notifications. And as always, I will see you boys in the next one.